The Independent Evaluation Department of the EBRD conducted an evaluation of the performance and results of EBRD's policy dialogue conducted between 2017 and 2023. The evaluation synthesises more than 20 evaluation products that have looked at policy dialogue issues and complements these findings with a fresh assessment of the policy engagement architecture and deep dive on EBRD's work in 2 countries representing 2 very different economies. The evaluation reaffirms policy engagement as a key dimension of the bank's business model. It is seen as a strong value added for clients, where the bank's agility, flexibility, and ability to work with a broad set of partners sets it apart. However, as evaluations continue to note, the overarching definition, classification, and objective for policy dialogue to contribute to EBRD's mandate has not been distinctly set, and nor are there clear targets and incentives. Within the portfolio of funded policy dialogue, which over the period in question is roughly 400 million, the largest type of work carried out has been in support of its countries of operation with policy advice, which accounts for 2/3 of the total. Evidence indicates positive results of policy dialogue towards fostering transition. As just one example, the evaluation found that in Serbia, mobilization of private investment was facilitated through the development of the regulatory framework for renewable energy auctions and the establishment of the Renewable Energy Sources Association for key investors. This helped lead to the first renewable energy wind auction. There is also evidence of wider effects that go beyond client or project boundaries, with potential for wider dissemination. As an illustration, through policy dialogue, EBRD can change the structure of the enabling environment for public-private dialogue. In the Kyrgyz Republic, the Investor Council has provided a stable platform for public-private dialogue since 2007, outlasting political regime changes. The bank's extensive local presence, breadth of support across public and private sectors, and tight nexus between advisory and financing helps set EBRD apart for clients, and its local presence remains fundamental to the design and delivery of policy work, which can be sensitive to the political economy. Policy dialogue was particularly relevant to address the needs of EBRD's clients when it included a political economy approach and/or occurred in conjunction with sovereign investments. Combining policy dialogue work and sovereign investments delivered positive results, particularly towards state-owned enterprise reform and introducing private sector participation. On the other hand, policy dialogue not linked to investments can lead to future transactions for the bank and plays an important role in advancing systemic change. Unintended and positive results of policy engagement emerged, particularly in context of crisis. During the pandemic, for example, EBRD conducted policy dialogue to support governments to digitalise much-needed government services. This led to increased crisis resilience for government systems during lockdown and beyond. In Kyrgyz Republic, for example, this included helping speed up services for business, such as e-registration, e-notary services, and a remote identification system for banking. Finally, the evaluation found that the achievement of results of the EBRD's policy dialogue in addressing the needs of the private sector depends on the level of government and stakeholder buy-in, and its overall effectiveness is augmented when conducted jointly with other development partners. The EBRD's policy dialogue activities includes intense collaboration with other IFIs. Against this positive background, the evaluation found that weaknesses persist in planning, managing for results, and the results narrative and reporting. The evaluation, just as previous evaluations before, found several limitations in the way that EBRD approaches policy engagement. For example, the definition and categorization of policy activities still lacks clarity, internal coherence, overall acceptance and understanding, both internally and externally. In addition, although policy dialogue plays a key role in the high-level vision and objectives of EBRD, there is no clear strategic and operational approach for implementing it, with the enhanced approach to policy dialogue having been brought to the board in 2015. There also continue to be further opportunities to develop the current set of tools, processes, incentives, and overall governance of the approach. The impact of policy engagement, for example, is not adequately captured. The credit of the transition impact from non-transactional policy dialogue is not estimated, measured, or captured. There is no coherent system that centralises all data on policy engagement activities in the bank, including the policy impact of lending. Information on policy work is scattered across different separate databases which may overlap and be of variable quality, some of which are no longer updated. That contributes to largely absent feedback loops from monitoring and self as well as independent evaluation to enable learning or visibility on results. These findings are supported by the rich body of previous evaluation knowledge. The Independent Evaluation Department commends the bank's efforts in enhancing its approach to policy engagement, and building on this evaluation will continue to provide evidence and insights to maximise transition gains from policy work at the nexus of policy activities and green, digital, and support to small businesses and local capital market development.